Can you hear me? Yeah? Do I need a mic?
Yeah.
No? Yes? Yes? All right, okay, okay. My Lord, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. Welcome, namaste. I was trying to find out what to say in Gujarati, but I don't think I do particularly well. Namaste. For me, it's a great pleasure to be here. And although I'm a Brahmin, and I've lived here nearly 50 years, I worked 14 years in the Black Country. And I know how wonderful Black Country people are. Honest, hard-working, welcoming, made of steel, but beautiful like Wilson enamel. And one of the things that's really, for me, is the ability of a sense of humor and able to laugh at oneself. So you have to excuse this rummy accent, because I'm going to say an Enoch and Eli joke. Enoch said to Eli, "Excuse me, mate, does you know there's a B&Q in Bilston?" To which Eli replied, "Sorry, mate, I don't, but now there's 2 D's in Dudley." And this is the ability to actually, laugh at oneself. And so for me, it's a great, great privilege because I love this area. And to be the first non-white Lord Lieutenant, and the Lord Lieutenants have been in existence since 1500. So in 2007, to be made Lord Lieutenant, for me, is a great honor and privilege. Particularly knowing that when I came from India at the age of 21 to university, I did not know a single person, not a friend of a friend of a friend, absolutely nobody. And by the way, many of the people here are from Gujarat, but I'm actually a Chawalwala from Madras, where the Madras curries come from. I'm not so hot, but I'm from Madras. And the great thing is that I did not know anyone. And then 40 years later, to be made Lord Lieutenant is a wonderful, wonderful privilege, which shows how wonderful and welcoming people are. Now, we've heard that it's the 60th anniversary of the Queen coming to the throne. But how many of you know that at the time she became Queen, she was actually in Kenya? So she was at the treetops in non-safari, and she went up to the top of the tree as a princess and came down as a queen. And we've also have 2 couples here. Now, how, you go down the telephone directory, how many Smiths do you find? And now you find many Patels as well. And so, it's a 60th anniversary, but I'll let you on to a secret. Listen carefully. In 1952, there was a blast furnace set up in the Bilston Steel Works called Elizabeth Blast Furnace, which produced about 300,000 tons of steel. So that's another anniversary, although the Bilston Steel Works has disappeared. And Lord Turner mentioned John Wilkinson. Now, John Wilkinson is actually not from the Black Country. He's from Cumbria. And the person who started the Bilston enamel were Huguenots. And now the Patels run all the business. Is that right? So we've got a situation where we're contributing a great deal. So there's a lot to celebrate. Now, I just want to share with you a few things about the Queen. Now the Queen has got two major roles. She's the head of state, and in that she performs the appointment of the Prime Minister and things like that. But she's also head of the nation. And as head of the nation, she tries to engage with us. She tries to, the Christmas broadcast that she does is part of that. Now, yesterday I was at Coventry Cathedral in my uniform as Lord Lieutenant with Princess Anne, and it was an amazing day. And the sun was out, you know, the sun shines in the Black Country as it shines anywhere else. You heard about the story of Queen Victoria when her train was going through, because it was all full of smog and smoke. She actually pulled down the windows on her carriage to be pulled down. But it isn't like that. The Queen and the royal family are very, very approachable. They go to lots of functions. And one of the things that some of you might would like to see, since it's a 60th anniversary, is I've got a piece of wedding cake, which I had, and that's one of the privileges of, because I was at Peyton Williams' wedding, and so Prince Charles sent me a piece of Christmas cake, wedding cake, and I shan't be eating it, I shall be leaving it to posterity. About a year ago, there's a program on the BBC about people who had left things as old as they can, you know, things they've got in their cupboard. And there were people who were bringing baked beans from 80 years ago and 90 years ago. So in our family, there will be this wedding cake for posterity, for my great-great-grandchildren to know I went to the wedding. But one of the great things about being Lord Lieutenant is I go and see all the wonderful work that people do. And today is a demonstration of the wonderful people and the wonderful work you do in the community. And I went to an outdoor centre in Warsaw. And in the outdoor centre in Warsaw, the kids were so handicapped that they couldn't actually get into a boat. So they were hoisted and put in a boat. And these children with such handicap were sailing around the Solent single-handed. You know, for people who have got all their faculties about them, it's difficult. So for someone to actually be handicapped to do that, and that is what is great about our country, is about caring for other people. I went to a boxing club in Dublin and in Payne Park, and there were, in a very, very quarter of the size of this room, there were these people teaching kids to box and to be active. And some of these kids were from very, dysfunctional families, and they were going into the schools helping these kids to come in. But perhaps one of my highlights, I've been Lord Lieutenant for 5 years, and one of my highlights was receiving the Pope. Now, when I received the Pope, that's it. And he was wearing red Gucci shoes. And when I met him, I'm Christian, by the way, and so when I met him, I normally don't talk about my religion, so when I met him, I said to him, Holy Father, can I welcome you on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen? And then I said, can I welcome you as a fellow Christian, born in Madras, where St. Thomas was killed? He said, what? So I said, yes, well, Christianity came to India in the 1st century with St. Thomas. So that was a really highlight. The other highlight was when Katie William came for after the riots last year. And one of the things was that I've never been in Hello magazine, I've never bought Hello magazine, I've never seen a Hello magazine, and my daughter had a phone call from a friend in the US to say her dad's in the Hello magazine. And so There are all sorts of wonderful things that take place, and what you're doing is actually contributing and celebrating the Queen's accession to the throne. I think there was a poll taken recently, yesterday or the day before, and people said, what do you think about how this country would be without a monarchy? And 79% said they thought it would be a bad thing if we didn't have the Queen. So, and one of the things that she does is actually put service and duty. So not words that we talk about these days, but it's really, really important. Everyone talks about rights, but not responsibilities. So I think as head of our nation, she actually sets us a huge, great example for all of us, for our children, our families. And I know, as someone of Indian origin, how much as Asians, as Indians, we value duty and responsibility to our parents, to our families, and so on. So thank you very much for inviting me. I've really enjoyed coming here, because I've come to God's own country. And it's because people are, what you see is what you get, hardworking, industrious, welcoming, friendly, and as I said earlier on, above all, the ability to laugh at oneself. So I'm just looking forward to all the entertainment, and it's really good to see so many of the Asian community here taking part. Because very often people ask me, we don't see many Asians taking part with in mainstream activities. But you actually again prove everyone wrong here in Bilston of working together collaboratively for the good of everyone else. So thank you very much for asking me.